All right, man. Torture Talk. Like, share, subscribe to the page. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So, continuing my coverage of academics and certain things he said that I found very interesting. This one here, he talks about he did not know that Kendrick was as good as he thought, as he did. You know, he didn't know that Kendrick was as good as he thought he was. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm even saying that right. He did not know that Kendrick was as good as Kendrick said he was. You know what I'm saying? Or as the fans said he was. So he's speaking on that. And yeah, I want to listen to that because he essentially admits that Kendrick is not to be fucked around with. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. Let me get my spill. Hey, this is Torture Talk. You know what it is. If you want to like, subscribe, share, subscribe to the page, you know, hit the thumbs up button. Also, too, if you ain't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified, too. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content, and that is free. So if you want to donate, you can. Links will be on the screen. All the beautiful ladies are single. Put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. They call me the hidden gem. You know what I'm saying? I went from 1,300 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 10,000 before the end of next week. Share the content. Thank you so much. And without further ado, I want to get right into it. Yeah, so let's get to it, man. Yeah, man. So let's go.
But you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. I guess motherfuckers want to flip that. Like, was that a bad tweet?
Yeah, but was he supposed to get back in the booth and diss Kendrick again? Like, I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I don't know what y'all think about it. I don't think. You know, y'all are going to be biased because you're from the West Coast. I don't think this battle was judged fairly. I think Kendrick had an advantage as much as y'all wanted to say he was an underdog coming in.
Yeah.
No, bro.
Goes back to what you said. How does Kendrick have the advantage in this battle? If you are saying that that people wanted Drake to fall off, he had the hater. How is it that? It's either one or the other. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that Kendrick had the advantage in this at all. I think that most people who are probably even some Kendrick fans, well, not necessarily Kendrick fans, but most people, they thought Kendrick was going to lose. A lot of people thought Kendrick was going to lose. They putting him on a time clock and everything. So I don't agree with that.
You want me to give you the ways? I'll list out the ways how Drake was the underdog. You want me to list it? I'll list it. Okay. First and foremost, no one knows nothing about Kendrick. So there's really no chink in the armor. You'd have to come up with something. And Drake comes up with something, people still don't even believe it, right?
So let me get this right. So because the nigga don't know personals about the nigga, now you're saying that there's no chink in Kendrick's armor. So he has the upper hand because no one knows anything about him. Like how is that Kendrick's fault? Like, I don't get that. Because nobody knows anything about me. I have the advantage. I guess that's what you want to use, but you can't use that. It can't go so far.
Secondly, that's working itself though. Before you go too far, you got to know that like that's intentional though. So he been like that for forever. So
no, I get that, but it's the reason why if we looked at this on paper and what happens in a battle, it's no way Drake should have been the favorite, right? Drake has a million things about his personal life. You know who the baby mom of his kid. You know every dirt about this guy. You've heard every rumor, right? Secondly,
then he shouldn't engage. Drake shouldn't have engaged then, bro. You can't say that. You can't say that. He shouldn't have had engaged. If Drake has the balls, if he has the balls to go out here and battle somebody like Kendrick Lamar, knowing all the dirt and skeletons that he have that can be potentially put on display at the Museum of Opinions, you telling me that he's like, bro, it's right there. You can't use that against Kendrick because he keeps his life private and Drake, he has the upper hand because nobody knows anything about him. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's crazy.
Everything Drake has tried to do good or all his relationship that's soured with people is very public. No one knows nothing about. I mean, I think, and this is my personal opinion. I think Drake was speculating when he's like, "Yo, top say drop and give me 50." I think he probably thought that maybe it wasn't cool. That's why.
But why? But my thing is, and I'm sorry to keep stopping there, but my thing is, why is it that Kendrick has to have some dirt? Why can't Drake just out rap the nigga? How about that? What if he just kept it a friendly fade, like Kendrick said, and let's just rap? Let's see who makes the better songs. Not like Us would have probably never came out if Drake would have just went back and forth with the raps and didn't speak on the family and all that. He basically said to you, don't speak on the family, Crody. Like, don't say nothing about the family. Let's just rap, nigga. Let's rap.
He never told me nothing. And then I guess they are cool, right? So when you realize that this got past bars and all the information, because these days rap beef is all about tea. Yeah, Kendrick had the ultimate advantage. Nobody knows nothing about you.
Bro, come on, bro. Rap beef is about tea? This is his new age shit, bro. This is new age shit. First of all, I would definitely tell you that Kendrick and Drake are not beefing. This is not a rap beef. Whether y'all want to try to color it to that extent or put that out there, it's not a rap beef. This was a war between the two of them, two personalities, artists, clashing from years and years and years, and it finally came to a head. People wanted this battle for a long time. This battle was just as big, or probably even bigger than Drake. Than Pac, Big, Nas, and Jay, all of them. You know what I'm saying? That's how big this battle was. This is of this time. I would go as far as saying this might have been the biggest battle between two rappers because they accomplished so much in so little of time between the two of them. And in that sense, from May 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, all of those days, they just took over the whole internet. And to be honest with you, it's still going on right now.
And you know everything about the other guy. So how could he not be the favorite?
But how? So once again, you're the number one, right? I'm just saying this is what you got rated as. You was on the side of Drake. You didn't think Kendrick was gonna do this.
Oh no,
of course. You saying the world thought Kendrick was the favorite?
Yeah, no.
And Drake was the underdog.
No.
But you was the only one that had Drake as the favorite.
No.
I mean, as the underdog.
No. I knew he was the underdog. I just, respectfully, I didn't think Kendrick was like that. And I said this before. I found out he's like that because.
That's the thing, because you're not a real fan. And not even saying you don't have to be a real fan. You are a surface level fan. You like things from the surface. You don't dig deep. If you would have dug a little bit deep into Kendrick, you would have told Drake, don't go down that road. You would have told him that. But see, you're going off of numbers and personalities and how people move. You ain't really do your studying on Kendrick, because if you did, and I'm talking to you, academics, if you did, you would have known. I was saying this from the beginning. Drake is going to get washed. I said that from the jump. I said, you niggas don't understand. Niggas like, oh no, you crazy. Drake is going, I'm like, bro, I'm telling y'all, bro. Y'all think that I'm bullshitting. He gonna get washed completely. And that's exactly what happened. I've been a writer for a long time. I know people's writing levels. And on top of that, it's questionable. Drake has a lot of question marks over his head. Anything you bring up, there's a question or an explanation. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of questions over his head. Oh, so he has a ghostwriter? Question mark. Oh, he been doing niggas dirty? Question mark. People question like, oh shit, for real? They didn't know. But Kendrick is different. He don't have those over his head. It's basically a blurry spot or a blank. So when someone says about Kendrick, it goes right past him. Oh, Kendrick is this. They don't believe it because his character does not display that. This is exactly why Drake lost. You saying it? Oh, he had the upper hand. listen, you can't even use that because this is the time where if Drake would have did what Kendrick did and kept his life private all the way up till now, and then you said that Kendrick had the advantage, I could be like, okay, that's an argument. But Drake had an open relationship with his with his fans and all media, social media, putting everything out there. He flying drones over stadiums while he having what's the name inside of a stadium, a date with a girl in a stadium. He's doing all this extra shit. You think people ain't gonna say nothing about that? Come on, bro.
I thought Kendrick was the throw the stones, hide your hands nigga. And I was like, when confrontation came to his door, and I'm going off of history, I'm not just making that up. So he drops Control, right? He basically punks the entire rap game. Drake comes out and says, yo, I pulled up on him. He says it's just rap, so that's why I'm not responding. Meek Mill responds.
I never heard Drake say that. If someone can find that clip, please link it in the comments. I never heard Drake said he pulled up on Kendrick and Kendrick said, oh, it's just that. Maybe they had a conversation, but I never heard Drake pulling up. Maybe that's what he's saying when he say pull up. Maybe he's talking like that.
He never responds to Meek Mill. J. Cole, he's just buddy with everybody. It felt like he liked to do moments to shake up the game, but he wasn't one of the persons that wanted to go back and forth, right? Again, I felt like Big Sean has been kind of saying, yo, niggas thought you got me on that record. They got on another record, Holy Key. Big Sean was dissing him. He kind of also disrespected Big Sean again. You know what I mean? When he was like, yo, ho, something Hall of Fame, ho, JC Hall of Fame, blah, blah. Like, he's son Big Sean. But I think Big Sean and Drake and the others, except for Cole, was always willing to rap battle. And I felt that he's nice, but I didn't think that Dot wanted to do that. So when he kept teasing, and then he teased Drake again with like that, I said, okay, all right, well, if he wants to battle, and I think this was Drake's demeanor, honestly. I think he was saying, all right, let that nigga drop.
So, okay, so I get what you're saying, but at the same time, you got to understand, if a nigga he been doing that, and it's only certain niggas that he want. Big Sean really wasn't one of them. It's really only Drake, you know what I'm saying, and probably J. Cole, but J. Cole backed out. But it's probably those two because you got to understand where he went from. He went from saying all of those people named Jay Electronica, Mac Miller, Tyler the Creator, Lupe Fiasco, Drake, who else he named? Who else? Meek Mill, all of those dudes. You know what I'm saying? Big Crit. He named all of them. You know what I'm saying? Tyler, Mac Miller, he named all the same people over again. But anyway, he named all of these dudes. And some of them responded, but they wasn't worth, I believe he said they got to try harder. Even some legends or people who was in the game longer, they responded. But then when they got to like that, he cut all them other dudes out. And he only named 2 dudes. And that was Drake and J. Cole right there. So he only wanted to battle them. You know what I'm saying? He was ready to go back and forth with both of them. You know what I'm saying? And what happened? J. Cole backed out. So it only left that dude.
But dedicated this song. And everybody was like, no, Drake, you're just pussy. You're scared. So Drake said, fuck it, I'll kick it off. And then it took, I know it took about the same time till Drake responded, but like, But
Drake didn't kick it off. Like, niggas gotta stop this whole trying to give Drake some credit. Drake didn't kick it off. Like that kicked it off. Because they was sneak dissing in first person shooter. And when Kendrick dropped, when they dropped like that, that's what set it off. It ain't when he did push-ups. No. That's what set it off. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the big 3. Nigga, it's just big me. You know what I'm saying? That set it off. I'm really like that. Your best work is a light pack. Nigga, Prince outlived Mike Jack. Nigga, boom. You know what I'm saying? For all your dogs getting buried. So he said it. He said it in the verse. For all your dogs getting buried. And then what happened? What happened? That's when he dropped push-ups. About, I don't know, 18, 19 days later or whatever. That's what happened. It wasn't, Drake set it off. No, Drake didn't set it off. Drake responded to a shot. And a shot is setting it off. Not, just a warning. No, it's a shot. If somebody shoot at you and they deliberately, I would say miss you, that's still they setting something off. Come on, bro.
At doubts, I'm like,
longer. Drake took longer.
All right. Well, I had the thought. I'm like, yeah, that nigga Kendrick was just doing exactly what he normally do. He's starting a fire and he run out of the building. He's starting a fire, pull the alarm, run out of the building. And I'm gonna be honest. I said I was wrong. That nigga showed me that when he said boogeyman or whatever, no, he's kind of on that cerebral, I want smoke. And also what he showed me is that he showed me he's down to get dark, and even darker to the level that I don't think Drake is willing to get to. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Bro, and anybody, I'm more like Kodak Black than, yeah. He been saying this, that's what I'm saying. It's been embedded in him since the jump. Like, I think, well, if anything, this reason why the West love is so heavy for him, especially Compton, but just period, like just the West is like that because for the ones, like he really rooted, like really went through the all the channels, whatever, the chilling circuit shit you want to talk about. He went through all that, you know what I mean? And got to where he's at and still been like kept his character intact. So, but it's been there though. Like all those elements you talking about, like you didn't think was there, it's been there. And this is the reason why he's saying he felt like niggas don't like the West Coast because it's like it's kind of hard. Like when motherfuckers is looking at somebody like Kendrick is big and got this outlook on him.
I will say this about the West Coast. The more and more I learn about it, it's a whole different ball game out there. I'm telling y'all now, any nigga from the East Coast, any nigga from wherever, I'm telling y'all now, I ain't saying there no real niggas on the East Coast because there's a lot of real niggas over here, but I'm saying the West Coast is it's a life, it's a way of life out there. Like the gangs, it's not just gangs to them. That's a way of life. It just goes on. That's what it is. Like they were brought into it, birthed into it. Their families and it. It's a generational thing. It's like church. You know what I'm saying? Like you were born into the church. You were a Christian. You know what I'm saying? That's how the gangs is out there. The gangs, and I ain't speaking on the violence. I'm saying, because there's a lot of gangs, because people look at it like, oh, he's a blood and he's a Crip. Or they gonna kill each other. It's not even the case. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of Bloods who are cool with Crips. There's a lot of Bloods who are family with Crips, cousins, brothers. Like for real, it's much deeper than a lot of East Coast niggas do not understand the West Coast. East Coast is a little bit different. East Coast, we the concrete jungle over here. You know what I'm saying? But the East Coast, most of us on this side over here, we're out for self. You know what I'm saying? Most of us, we don't really have crews like that. I mean, you had the old gangs back in the day, the Deceps and all of them. You know what I'm saying? You had all that. But then the boroughs was different. The 5 boroughs, you got different boroughs, different things going on. But see, when you talk about Cali, yeah, it's a little different because it's more family orientated. You know what I'm saying? It's much more rooted into where their gangs is so much more deeper than the so-called cliques out here, I would say. It's so deep and it's so rooted that it's Bloods and Crips out here now. You know what I'm saying? All over, actually. All over the United States. That's how rooted it is. And some people would even say, even in politics. So my thing is like, you just have to understand that Kendrick comes from a different place than Drake. That's all I'm saying.
Because in reality, you just probably never really tapped in. But it's you commentate on them. You know what I mean? Y'all got heavy stances. Well, I'm not even talking about y'all. I'm talking about you right now. heavy stances on him. You to make heavy stances, and I get it. Like I said, some shit's performative, some shit is real. But you was doing this from a space of never really tapping in and really listening to Dot like that.
No, I've always listened to him. I'm judging off literally, like, I kind of look at this like a sport. So I wanted to see Kendrick in a battle. I knew he had all the tools to battle. I didn't know if he had the demeanor. Like, for example, we all believe that Cole had the tools to battle, the lyricism, like some of the potent shit that you might need, the calculability that you would need in a battle. He just didn't have the demeanor. So it's one thing to.
That's not true either. I definitely think that J. Cole does have the demeanor to battle. I definitely think that he will go back and forth. But I just think that when he battled Kendrick, there's no real animosity between them two. And that's why he backed out, because he felt like it was forced. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. J. Cole got put in a position by Drake. And Drake played him into a position to attack Kendrick, not knowingly. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe that J. Cole was on some shit like, yeah, we the big three. And it's still competition, but I'm just letting y'all know that we're the greatest three rappers right now. You know what I'm saying? And he is it K. Dot, Aubrey, or me? But right now I feel like Muhammad Ali. Like he's saying, like, he's keeping it competition. J. Cole. J. Cole's a genuine dude. Drake isn't. Drake is a corn doodle ball. You know what I'm saying? That's Drake. So when you were talking about Drake, he basically put the battery in his back without him knowing. He played him and he put him into it. So when he was on first person shooter and he said certain things, I believe Kendrick looked at it like, well, you stand with him, you get hit with him. That's how Kendrick looked at it. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, Kendrick is a genuine person too. And he likes competition.
Be like, oh, he got the skills to do it. He has the skills to be a great quarterback, but could he play quarterback? We've never seen him do it. I didn't see Kendrick do this until now. Now, granted, after this, I would probably definitely tell everybody in rap, like, leave this nigga alone. This nigga look like, you know, he's a little demon who's on some other shit.
Yeah,
100%. Like, and that's the respect that he's earned with me as a fan. And it doesn't matter if I'm a Drake fan or not. He's earned that with me because before now, and I still call him Kawhi Leonard because I don't think he puts out enough music, right? And part of what with him and Drake, I think I could be wrong, is I feel like a lot of what they criticize Drake about comes from jealousy. The spot that Drake has gotten to in music has come from hard work, dedication, not taking summers off, keep putting out music, not being complacent, not disappearing, helping other people out, being on features, feeding the culture. And I don't care if you think he's a bitch, he's white, he shouldn't be saying nigga, he uses writers. I don't care what you say. What Drake's impact on the game is and how important he is. That's why I even say now to people who are happy that they're like, oh, I feel like Kendrick won. I'm like, great. Here's the thing. Kendrick will never replace Drake in the grand scheme of things until he does exactly what Drake does. Drake.
All right, so I'm going to end that there. If y'all want to watch the rest of that, just go on Axe page and y'all see it. But yeah, see, here's the thing. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, Kendrick doesn't have to replace Drake. That's the thing. Nobody's asking Kendrick to replace Drake. Kendrick is just going to be Kendrick. Nobody asks Prince to replace Michael Jackson. He was just that. Nobody asks Biggie to replace Pac. Nobody asks, I don't know, the Beatles to replace Led Zeppelin. Like, nobody asks for that. That's the thing between the two. So my thing is, Kendrick is who he is and Drake is who he is. It's nothing else to it. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it from this point of view. If you are a Drake fan, you're going to continue to be a Drake fan. If you're a Kendrick fan, you're going to continue to be a Kendrick fan. But just at this point, I think there's a lot of people who stood against Drake, but didn't say anything because they didn't know how to articulate it, or they didn't know how to say it without sounding like a hater. And Kendrick came out and put it at the forefront about how people really feel about Drake. And I think that that's an eye opener for Drake. See, I think Drake has this thing with him where he was running blindly and he thought that everybody just loved him. And he thought that he had some haters or whatever you want to call them. But at the same time, I really think that he felt as though that he was invincible. And Kendrick humbled him, put him right in his place and be like, look, you are not bigger than this. The culture is the biggest thing. And you are whether we want to say he is he's a guest or whether we want to say but the thing is, Kendrick told him, like, listen, the culture is bigger than you. I don't care how many hits you got. This about the culture and it's bigger than you. And that's what it was. So either way, man, y'all have yourself a good afternoon. I'm out of here. See y'all. Peace. Bye. Make sure y'all hit that like and share and hit that notification bell. All right, man. See y'all. Peace. Bye.